Y'all see me getting this together over here. Here we go. Yo! What's up, everybody? You already know what it is. Welcome, welcome, welcome. It's Sunday. Oops, got my little string out. Fucking up my intro. Let's start this all over again, man. What's up, everybody? Yo, it's Sunday. You're on the set, and this is Sunday Set Trip. This is the Sunday after that we went live. You're tapping in with your girl Trip, and of course, we're on the set of the One Successful Failure podcast where we do all the shooting and the mind polluting and all that shit. I just made that up. I just threw that in right there. But anyway, we're on the set. It's definitely Sunday, and you're here with your girl Trip. And if you don't know, I'm going to give you a brief introduction. I do it every single time just in case you might have stumbled upon here, didn't know where you were. You came in here, intentionally. This is Sunday Set Trip. This is where I, Trip, the host of the One Successful Failure podcast, just chills on the set. Oh, wait, I got hair issues. I just chill on the set and I talk more me. I give you more of what I'm going through as an individual. We can talk podcast review. We can talk, books. Hold on, y'all. Let me get y'all a little bit closer to me. I feel like y'all are so fucking far away. Anyway, we talk books. We hold each other accountable. I get a little bit more personal. Maybe I talk politics. Maybe I don't. But we're in this thing and it's Sunday and this is what we do. Sunday Set Trip. Y'all know the vibes. There we go. I think I see myself a little bit better now. It was a little awkward, but whatever. Speaking of awkward, that's one of the titles. I know y'all probably would never think that somebody like me would post a title, but let's go over the titles today. Because sometimes I don't go over the titles and people just jump in and they're like, well, what does that have to do with anything? I'm going over straw. I know my black people been hollering about straw, Tyler Perry's straw, Tyler Perry's lawsuit, him and Taraji, whatever. I decided that I was going to watch Straw. And if you didn't see the title, maybe this is what Tyler Perry should have done. He didn't do it. Fucked me up. There should be a straw trigger warning for, I think, all black families, black women, people who haven't had the best upbringing. I think there should be a trigger warning at the beginning of this. It's like, those movies was got a whole bunch of fucking lights. And they tell you at the beginning, if you're epileptic, you might not want to watch this. Well, I'm broke epileptic, poor epileptic, drug kid epileptic. I'm all that. Moving epileptic. Some shit was another series of bad events epileptic. That's what I am. That's what I was when I was young. We had everything. Moving, then the job loss, then the back surgery, then the drugs. It seemed like we couldn't catch a break. And I feel like Straw, Tyler Perry's Straw, we're going to get into it. I feel like that movie should have a trigger warning at the beginning, and I'm going to tell you why we're going to go into that. But we're talking about Tyler Perry's Straw. We're talking about... Today I want to discuss being socially awkward. I know people are probably like, Trip, you? Yeah, I'm saying the same thing. Trip, you. Yeah, me. I think I'm socially awkward now. I don't know. We're going to discuss what happened this past weekend. And you tell me what you think. I know socially awkward is like a new term. I don't even know if that's really what I am. I don't even know if that's a real deal. I mean, we'll talk about it. Y'all tell me if it's a real deal. Y'all think if it's something that these kids have made up again, triggers, trauma, narcissists, all the shit that I have proven to be real that we thought were made up internet words. Tell me if y'all think socially awkward is a made up word when I tell you about what I've been going through. And then lastly, I know Mental Health Month was in May, and we may or may not have touched on it, but the last part of the topic, the last part of Sunday Set Trip we're going to go over is it's okay to not be okay, I think. And that's really like the title, because I don't know. I don't know if it's real or if it's not, but I mean, I guess that's what I think. So anyway, let's dive into Tyler Perry and these fucking straws. I don't know what I was thinking when I saw the title Straws. I have no idea what I thought what it was going to be about. And I will tell you right now, I still can't even tell you what it's about. I didn't fucking finish it. The trigger warning that should be there, that wasn't there, like the epileptic, narcoleptic, poor epileptic, all that epileptic, went through this type of shit epileptic. I think the trigger warnings that weren't there should have been there. And since they weren't there, I didn't know what I was getting into. So I haven't finished the show. I probably got 20 minutes in. And I'm going to be honest with you. every nervous system shut down, every cringe up anxiety, every uncomfortable feeling in the gut, everything that we're supposed to be avoiding to be happy, all those feelings, those triggers, all those emotions, all those gut punches that are telling you abort the mission, they were there. I don't know if you all have seen it, and if you have seen it, hit me up in the comments. Tell me what you think. Tell me, before you tell me what you think about straw, tell me what your social upbringing was like, what your youth was like. Did you go to a white school? Did you go to a black school? Was social services ever called in your life? Did you have a mama that was struggling? Was your family struggling? Were you your only child? Tell me your socio-economical background before you tell me your opinion. But were you triggered? What was your thoughts? I didn't know what straw was going to be about. And I should have, I guess, being an intelligent woman, being somebody that's got a weed rolling master's degree, being someone who has been through school and has a student loan to prove it, I should have just stopped and thought and, critical thinking. I could have put two and two together. I guess the meaning of this was her last straw. Like I said, I haven't finished it. So I don't know. And I read on Facebook and Instagram and all that shit, and a bunch of people read it talking about, man, I never expected it to end like that. Well, first of all, kudos to you. Thank you for all of you who don't ruin the ending for people like us who may or may not get the opportunity to finish. I'm saying or may not get the opportunity because it may not be that I don't get the opportunity that I don't finish. I may get the opportunity to finish, but I can't pull myself together internally. I can't get my feelings in check enough. I can't register the anxiety. I can't stop the triggers enough to watch it. The first 20 minutes I watched it, first of all, I don't know how Taraji could be so calm. She stayed calm the first 20 minutes through everything that was dumped on her. The car being trapped, the boss with the harassment, coming into work in the crazy line, the school shit, the social services shit, and still trying to, not display her feelings to her baby, not show her loved ones or the people around her. She is on the fucking brink of breaking. Number one, it was tragic for me to watch that because I never considered that when I was young. I still don't know if my mom was ever on the tragic brink of fucking breaking, or if that was maybe what led her to drugs. Maybe the drugs were just the escape that she needed to keep from feeling all of those things or acknowledging all of those things like Taraji was acknowledging. I don't know how Taraji could be so calm and so cool. But at the same time, too, part of the trigger warning for me was the boss, the people in the line, and all that. I don't know how individuals who don't know you, who don't know what you're going through, who see you trying, who see you showing up, I don't understand how sometimes some people can just be so fucking cruel for no reason. I didn't have to walk through the line of people to go be a cashier, but when I was young, it felt like I was always walking through a line down the hall of white kids that were better than me, and they was making sure to let me know it as I was walking past. I always felt like I was walking down the line of black kids who felt like they were better than me because even though they were black, they weren't poor like us. Even though they were black, they mama and daddy weren't doing drugs or gone like mine. And even though they were black, majority of them was probably straight. So they still felt like they were better than me. I didn't ever work in one of those situations, but I did take that walk of shame when I was younger. When I was younger, maybe like Taraji's daughter, fucking free lunch. Or not really get off of it. Because I enjoyed eating. I enjoyed the food that they provided. I didn't know it was bad food until I saw everybody else's food. But I still enjoyed it. I learned how to swap and switch. But when people did find out that my lunch was free or discounted or whatever, and I'm supposed to be this top student athlete, I'm in National Honor Society, this kept going even though I was in high school or whatever. I was still broke as fuck. I would do anything to get off of it. I would do anything for people not to know. I would do anything for my friends not to feel sorry for me or have pity for me or not. All those things I forgot that I had kind of went through until I saw the first 20 minutes, 27 minutes of this movie. I'll probably cut it off at the 27-minute mark because I think that's the mark where it was pouring down raining, of course. She got fired from her job just trying to help her baby, of course. No fault of her own, doing what she was supposed to do. And then she came home, quote unquote home, to the only place that's supposed to be your safe haven, that you're supposed to be able to escape from when the rest of the world is cruel. And she came home to nothing and her stuff outside on the lawn in the rain. Although she had promised that I was going to take care of it. I think that's where I cut off because I couldn't take any more of my life being read across on this script. And the sad part is if my life was read across on this script and I felt the throw up forming in my body, I felt the anxiety. I still felt like I was the kid and not supposed to say anything because Lord knows my mama couldn't afford social services to be called. If I felt those things in my stomach, if I looked at myself as that young lady that Taraji was trying to raise, and I know others did too. And I know Tyler Perry is a hell of a creative, and I know that this man has built his life and his goals and his dreams on the stories that he's come up with, maybe that his mom has told him or that he's seen in other women. But where the fuck, who the fuck did Tyler meet or steal from to be able to not only write this, record this, and put the emotion into it, but to have it so real? I couldn't take it. I'm 46, about to be 47 years old, and I'm not ashamed of my age. I thank God that I've made it to this age. I thank God that I'm here on the set on a Sunday, recording, talking to you all, sharing my life and my goals and my values and my dreams with you. I thank God that I made it, that we didn't get to our last straw, or that my last straw or my mama's last straw was never pulled. That's the only thing that keeps me from her or the character in the movie. And if Tyler is a man, and we see that he just recently had a child, we also see that his mom took very good care. How the fuck did he invoke these emotions? Where did he get this script if he didn't steal it? How could he watch these things as he was younger, or live next to these things as he was younger, or hear the stories of these people and find it in his heart to write about it, to display it, to put it out there for the world to see, and not take the time to say to the people that have actually lived this life, to the women who have actually made their way out of their shit on the fucking lawn, to the people who have lost their parents and stuff to drugs because they couldn't take mentally seeing their shit out on the lawn anymore, or moving anymore, or that boss anymore. How can he write that type of shit if he's lived it without putting a trigger warning, without letting people know who has lived that life? Hey man, I'm finna regurgitate your life. I'm finna throw it the fuck up in your face, and for entertainment. And I pray that you either don't see it or it doesn't bother you anymore. I pray that you've gotten past that. Well, I pray that I've gotten past that too. I go to therapy to make sure that I'm working on the inner child that was running away, or working on the inner child that had to take that walk of shame, working on the inner child that was benefiting from the free lunch that everybody was laughing at. I'm working on those things, but what about the people who don't have the access to work on those things? I congratulate and I thank Tyler for highlighting the things that really happen in the lives of black women, black children, black people, poor people. There's some white people that have to go through these things. There's some white people that have made it to their last straw. There's some white people that will make it to their last straw because social services will be called into their lives when they're doing the best that they can do. But because someone else feels like they should be better but not willing to help, wants to knock them down. I don't know. I know imitation is flattery and art is a form of what we see in life, but damn, there's so many people going through therapy right now, I myself included, because my mama got to the last straw. My aunt got to the last straw or didn't. They ran away before they could. We were left alone before the last straw was pulled. We were given up before the last straw got to. I don't know, Tyler. I appreciate your creativity. I appreciate you showing the rest of the world what a lot of us are going through. And I appreciate you taking the time to look at someone else's story, steal someone else's story, whatever you did to be able to write that script. But if you ever lived that story, if you know anything about someone who has lived that story, if your mom was Taraji, I think you owe it to us, the people who have made it out of that last straw situation, to say, hey, I'm about to put something out there and it might fuck your whole world up. It might pull out some stuff that you didn't even know was there. It might shake up the solid foundation that you thought you built on top of that shaky shit that you were hiding. We're about to pull your straws. I think Tyler should have just been a little more cognizant to know that he was going to invoke some emotion, break up some families, dig up some triggers and traumas that people didn't know that was there. With doing that, have the decency to say, hey, this ain't for the faint of heart. Even HBO comes through and says, PG-13. You got to be at least 13 to watch this. Not because they want to just get an older crowd, because at a 13-year-old mind is where they can start to process the things that are about to happen in the movie. At a 13-year-old body, the hormones are starting to kick in. So if it's a little bit sexually charged in the movie, the 13-year-old, 14-year-old, 15-year-old can understand it, because some of those things they are starting to go through too. If it says rated R, mature audiences only, we know that the type of situation, the type of material, the type of jokes, the type of whatever we're about to watch is not for a kid or a mind that is not mature enough to handle it. So I feel as if Tyler should have gave us some type of warning, a heart maturity, an inner child maturity warning, hiding from your past and the things that you made it past warning. I don't know, maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm too sensitive. And I'm not really known to be a sensitive person. But I do know that this movie show, act of creativity and art, it kind of shook me. It shook me in spots that I didn't know were still shakeable. And it shook me in spots that I know right now, because I had to cut the movie off, I didn't want to be shaken in. And that's scary. It's scary that art can get you there. It's scary. And I think these are some of the things that we need to reevaluate within art. It's like some of those movies or some of these games that make kids think it's okay to go shoot up schools, because the person who is just being creative and free and artistic doesn't realize that those things really mean something to other people that's watching it. To you, it just means, oh man, I saw this woman and she was on her last straw. That shit crazy. Let me write about it. But I think the saying goes, it ain't so funny when it's your mama. It ain't no fun when the rapper got the gun. So when people are putting out art and creativity, I think we just need to be a little more sensitive. Even people as big and as thought-provoking as Tyler Perry, it provokes thoughts, but what thoughts are we wanting to provoke in people? Some people just need to get past and be able to heal. And I know y'all are probably thinking, well, if you feel like you ain't healed, don't watch this movie. Hey, shut the fuck up. That's the point of me saying this. That's the point of me saying, hey, a trigger warning, a inner child trigger warning. If you was once poor and got your shit thrown out on the street, warning, this may not be for you. That's why I say, I'm just putting it out there. This is what I think. This is my Sunday. This is my set. And I'm definitely tripped. I just think that those things should be applied. I think Tyler obviously did a hell of a job pulling out or invoking the emotion that he wanted to pull out. It was so good that I couldn't even finish it. But I do believe we should have the choice to have those demons or those traumas or those triggers brought up in us. And we'll be able to make that choice or choose for others around us if that warning is made available. Like I said, rated PG, PG-13, rated R, mature audiences only, broke audiences only, unhealed audiences may not want to watch this, that type of shit. It would be greatly appreciated, because I don't know if I'm going to go back and be able to watch that. And I've never really been like a super Tyler Perry fan. I didn't like the whole Madea thing. It reminded me of people making fun of trans and people making fun of black women. I didn't get it. But I understand it was art, it was entertainment. A lot of people loved it. I celebrated him as a black man, a black creative that was making his money. Diary of a Mad Black Woman, some of that I understood, some of it I didn't until later. I don't know. There was a few other ones of his that might have clicked with me, but majority of them didn't, because I feel like this is like a white person writing what they think or what they see about black people, and it is so far from the truth. But I think this one was so close to the truth, but he still did it maybe in an ignorant way. Shout out to you, Tyler Perry, for producing such a great piece of work, body of work, that it's even invoking this type of conversation. But I would be remiss if I didn't say, yo, that show was hard to watch. I got some wounds I know now that I need to heal. I wonder if my mom could ever even watch that. I wonder if she would feel some of the things I feel. Me and my older brother grew up different ways. Same mom, but grew up different ways within the same household. I wonder if he would be able to watch it and feel the same thing, but he and I believe different things because we grew up in the same household. So I just want to know what y'all think about it. If there's anybody that grew up that way, cousins grew up that way, aunts grew up that way, if there's anybody that experienced that, if there's anybody's mom who got to their last straw, dad who got to their last straw, you live with your grandma, your nana, your nanny, if they were ever put to their last straw, how was it handled? What was the end-all be-all result? Have you watched Straw? Did it even invoke any? What's your socioeconomic background? Let me know if I'm just all the way off, if my cancer treatment and lack of hormones has me being too sensitive. Maybe I need extra therapy. Maybe it's me. If it's just me, drop it in the comment section. That's just you. It was a good movie. I saw what he was trying to go through. Taraji is the shit. They should have did this. It don't happen like that for white people. Tell me what you think. I want to know. I want to know if I'm being extra sensitive. I want to know if it did the same thing to you as it did to me. I want to know if you as a young adult or an older adult, someone with kids and a family or whatever, have you ever made it to your last fucking straw? And if you have, how are you still here with us to where you didn't unalive somebody, unalive yourself? How did you make it past that last straw? I want to know, because I want to know what the motivation was or what it invoked for you, because I can tell you what it did for me. It messed me up, and I'm pretty sure. I'm almost 100% sure that I won't be able to go and finish it. And if I do, it'll be because I'm watching it with somebody else, but I'm still cringing on the inside. And that's torture. I don't think I want to torture myself that way. But, let me know what you think. What was your last straw? I just want to hear so I can understand better the mind of the people watching it and the mind of what Tyler Perry was thinking when he put it out there without the trigger warning or some type of warning. Did you watch it and think that there should be any warning put at the beginning? I don't know. Maybe it was just me. But however, I've been, doing different things. And part of this is watching movies like this by myself. I never really watched things like this on my own. Yeah, I know. If my mama ever takes the time to watch this, which I know she won't, she's going to say I fidget a lot. Yeah, I fucking fidget a lot. It's not because I fidget a lot and think I'm fat. Let's just be honest with it. This is way off of the topic. I've gotten kind of fat. And it's because I've gotten off my schedule. I talked to y'all about it. I talked about the balance and all that. So if you see me fidgeting on here, it's because I'm feeling uncomfortable and I'm working on it and I'm getting to it and I notice it. I don't need you to say anything. And part of my fidgeting is I got a lot going on in life. I got a lot of new things going on. There's a lot of new me that I didn't even know exists. Yeah, a lot of new me that I didn't know exists. I got the name Trip. a lot of it was from my coaches. When I was young, you can Google this. There's no need. I don't have warrants. My last name is Triplet. From the time I could know anything about anything, we were always Trips. My dad used to play on the company softball team. They called him Trip. At work, they called him Trip. They say, "Oh, you Trips kid?" I was like, "Yeah." And I never think I aspired to be a Trip. But when I got a little bit older, my coaches was cutting my name short, and they would be like, "Triplet, goddamn it, Trip! Hey, Trip, come here, there's Trip," and it just kind of stuck. When I got to college, came down here to Texas Southern University, and I figured I could be whoever I wanted to be. I was like, no, I'll just go by what my coaches call me, because I was on a scholarship and I was going to be mostly around teammates. So everybody was like, "Who are you?" And I was like, my name is Trip. It wasn't a lie, it wasn't whatever. But it wasn't until I developed into Trip. I made it my own. I put my own personality into it. I put meaning and feeling behind it. It wasn't until some of my teammates, my classmates, some of the homies realized who I was and what I was that Trip actually came. I didn't name myself with the new Trip. It was actually a classmate. There was nothing that I really hadn't done, wasn't willing to do, or wasn't down for. There wasn't really a time that I didn't come around somewhere that you didn't hear me, feel me, or know that I was there. And I used to have this classmate, he would see me on the yard at Texas Southern, and I would usually be hollering at a hoe. Let me just be honest with it. I mean, not a hoe as informed as a sense, it's like a 304, but I'm talking about a young tender. I was always on in the yard doing something, hollering at some dude, some young woman, something. I was walking with my shirt off, because I was fine back then, had the abs on the basketball team, on the softball team, in the gym, getting swole, So I was usually walking with just a sports bra, just when I had titties, and my shirt off, and he would always see me on the yard and say, "That damn Trip, there she go, that damn Trip." And it stuck. And it was because I was the life of the party. I was a Trip. If anybody was going to do something, Trip was going to. If anybody had done something, Trip was going to do it. It had done it. If anybody was down to do some shit, if anybody was wrong with it's Trip, it was that damn Trip. I was always the life of the party. I've been out in the parties. I came to the parties. I brought the bitches to the parties. I probably took some men away from the parties. I was in the parties. I partied. I clubbed. I kicked it. I emceed. I still MC. I'm usually the life of party wherever I go. Well, this weekend I went out. I told one of my friends she had some gays in town. I said, "Hey, you got some gays in town?" "Oh, shit." And she's 100% straight, But she's cool with us. And no, it wasn't the LGBT Pride weekend or whatever, but she had some gays in town. Some gays that she grew up with, and they were here, and she just assumed that I knew where to take them. How the fuck am I supposed to know? I don't go where the gays go. I don't go where anybody goes. But I said, you know what? I always complain about I don't want to go out with you in your straights. So since she had some gays in town, I couldn't say no, so I decided to go out. And we went out, and we went and found a couple of gay bars, gay clubs. And then we ended up, because the gay bars and the gay clubs here in Houston was whackadocious, which is crazy. We're one of the 4th largest cities in the country, and we don't have a lesbian nightlife. It was weird, so it was weak. So we ended up going to another straight spot. And I've never, ever, ever, ever in my life felt the way that I felt this weekend. I was socially awkward in the gay spot because I felt like I wasn't stud enough. I wasn't internet dressed enough. I didn't have the flare sweats. I didn't have the pants with all the zippers and the fucking flare bottoms and bell bottoms. I didn't have the BB Simon belt. I didn't have the crop faded tee that everybody's wearing. I felt socially awkward because I was by myself. I hadn't been by myself without a woman in 14, 15 years. I never cared about who was out. If somebody looked good, let me buy somebody a drink. I always had somebody to buy a drink. Trust and believe, the motherfucker with me could drink. I never had to worry about buying a drink. What I had to worry about with her was when could I stop buying drinks. But I never had to worry about how to send a woman a drink. I never had those issues. I got in the club, and I don't know if y'all can notice right now, the same way I got in the club Friday night or whatever, I just broke out into a motherfucking sweat, just like right now. See, we've been talking about triggers and straws, Tyler Perry and all that. Haven't broke out in a sweat one time. Right now, I'm talking about being in the club, being around gays, switching from gays to straights, being by myself, being without my woman, how you can see someone nice and send them a drink and you don't seem like a creep. and I'm sweating. That's how I was Friday night. I've learned that I've gotten socially awkward. I've learned that I feel weird out. I learned that I feel like I don't fit in. I was nervous. And I think it was so evident that my friend, who's 100% straight, who was enjoying herself so much at the gay club, the boy bar or whatever we was at, she kept saying to me, "Are you okay?" And I kept lying. And I was like, "Yeah, I'm good." But I wasn't okay. I had a weird feeling in my stomach. I kept trying to find any reason to leave, but I rode with her. I could tell that not only was I sweating, but I could tell I probably had the stomach virus face, like, why am I here? Although the music at one of the spots was great, I had a hard time enjoying myself or letting loose. And I only know that because when I did let the music just take over or the vibe just take over, my friend would make it a point to say, "There she go. Yeah, friend." And I think that probably made it even more awkward because it pointed out the fact that before I was being awkward and now I'm not. I don't know. I've never been someone who's socially awkward and I never knew what it felt like. But I think since my transition to this new life, no, not transition like that. No, not tranny transition. But since my transition from not single to single, since my transition from being wanted and desired to not knowing if I am or not, from being reassured that I don't have to worry about anything, that I'm going home with something, and that I'm definitely loved and respected, kind of, sort of, regardless. And then Friday night, being out and not feeling that, I felt like a kid who didn't have my little binky, my little security blanket. I felt off. I felt weird. I felt nervous. And I didn't like it. And the craziest thing is, that has to be my new norm. Maybe not so much going to clubs, but eventually I'm going to have to get out. I'm going to have to learn how to buy someone a drink or have a drink purchased for me and not feel like a creep. Or not feel like the person who sent me the drink is a creep. I'm going to have to learn to enjoy myself regardless. Whether I'm there by myself or there with 20 people, whether I take something home or whether I leave alone, I'm going to have to learn what it is to party again, to enjoy myself again, to not feel like because I'm enjoying myself that I'm okay with what happened. I'm okay now. It's been 2, 3, 4 years. I should be able to enjoy myself and not feel guilty. Like, oh, you enjoying yourself, you must not be hurt from your relationship ending. Oh, you enjoying yourself, you must not be hurt from that other being with someone. Yeah, all those things still hurt, and all those things still happen, and all those things I'm still dealing with. But I have to learn that I can enjoy myself and it have nothing to do with that I still was fucked over by another person. I have to learn that it's okay to start looking at other people, attempting to make other friends, attempting to be in a relationship or not, and not feel as if I'm being unfaithful to someone who was already unfaithful to me, who I'm not with anymore. I have to realize life goes on. It may not go on in the same way in which I did it, clubbing, barring. I may not be the life of the party anymore. But I don't desire to continue every time I enjoy myself to feel weird or allow me feeling guilty about enjoying myself to make me socially awkward. And I don't think you should either. Things happen in our lives, shit fucks up. There's a lot of my relationship I'm realizing now I probably fucked up. I'll take accountability and responsibility. It's just me and you. However many of y'all gonna watch this, it's just us. Keep it quiet. Don't tell anybody. There's probably some things that I fucked up. There's probably some things that you fucked up. There's probably some things that you did in life that you don't do anymore. You might have drank, you don't drink anymore. You might have smoked, you don't smoke anymore. You might have been a hoe. You're not a hoe anymore. You might have been a super Christian, and now you want to, quote unquote, live a little. There's a lot of things that's going to change in our life, or probably already has. I think before I accept being socially awkward, I think I'm going to have to accept new social places. Because the socially awkward wasn't a good feeling. And I know I'm not an awkward person. I know that I bring life and personality and spark to wherever I am. Maybe it's just the place that I was at didn't need a spark. Maybe the place that I was at is dark and dim, and that's probably why I felt weird there. Because I think now I've learned that I'm a light. I have a light. And I learned that I'm attracted to light. And not to say that there's dark, dingy things going on in clubs, but I've realized that those aren't the places that I want to meet my next. Those aren't the places that I'm going to meet a best friend. Those aren't the places lately that have made me feel comfortable, because I don't drink and I'm tired of answering the question, why you drinking water? Why you got a Red Bull? Another Red Bull at 2 a.m.? Yeah, another fucking Red Bull at 2 a.m. Because it's awkward being in a place where everybody's drinking and holding something and you don't have something in your hand. It's weird and awkward constantly answering the questions, why you ain't drinking? Because I don't drink. Why you don't drink? I'm not in the motherfucking program. I just don't want to drink. Maybe that is why I feel socially awkward, because those aren't the places I'm supposed to be socializing in. Maybe that's why you're feeling socially awkward. If you can relate anywhere in this topic, maybe that's why. Maybe it's because you're going to places that it's not your vibe anymore. It doesn't have the light that you're attracted to anymore. And yes, although I give off light, I'm still a little moth on the inside. I'm still attracted to love and light, because that's what makes me happy. I'm learning that the dark places like the club don't make me happy. I don't have to hide my lifestyle anymore. I don't have to find places for my wife to drink anymore. I don't have to find places for us to be able to be free and do whatever we want to do, but it's dark, nobody pays attention because they in there doing their own fucking sinning. Maybe that's it. I'm not against sinning, not saying that I don't. I still do my share of whatever it is, and not that I'm advocating that. I'm not perfect. But I have realized that I have gotten somewhat socially awkward, but I think it's just awkward in the places that I have been choosing to socialize. I'm trying to go to the old places with the new me. And so that's what's making it awkward. So maybe you and I both need to learn that we don't need to put a title on ourselves. We're not socially awkward. We just need to stop socializing in places that are now awkward to us. It's not us, it's them. I'm a Libra. It's not me, it's you. It's not us, it's y'all motherfuckers. And truthfully, it is. Those instincts, those gut feelings, those things that I'm feeling inside is not me. Yeah, I'm a fuck up. I got the shirt on. Yeah, my marriage failed. Yeah, I'm starting over at 46 and don't even know where to begin. Yeah, I don't have it all figured out, but there's nothing about me that's awkward. I'm a motherfucking trip. I'm someone to enjoy and to be enjoyed. And if I'm ever in a spot where I'm feeling uncomfortable, uneasy, that someone has to keep asking me if I'm okay, then I'm obviously not enjoying it, and I'm obviously not letting someone enjoy me. And those are what makes things awkward. I think if you're ever feeling socially awkward at work, socially awkward at a party, socially awkward at a club, I think you need to dig deep and say, why is that? Maybe you are an awkward individual, and that's okay too. You still need to go find where your tribe is. But it might be that you're just socializing in places where the vibe, the energy, and the emotion is awkward for the season that you're in, is awkward for the vibe, the energy, and emotion that your body is yearning for. And maybe it's in a place that's awkward for the vibe and the energy and what you're giving off. You may be giving off too much to a shithole. You may be giving off not enough to a place that could use more, but they wouldn't know how to accept it. I don't want to give myself another title or be put in another box of socially awkward, but I do know how I felt on Friday. And I do know that feeling was awkward. And so I do know that I will find different places to socialize to where that awkwardness is not even thought about in my body. And I think that's something that we should work on as a community. We're not going to give ourselves labels and titles and any of that shit anymore just because new things come up in our bodies, just because new things come up in our mind, just because someone stops and asks us, are we okay? We're not going to call ourselves a mental case or say we're having a mental breakdown. This goes right into where we're going to end this up. It takes a good friend to look at you or just be around you and feel the energy coming off of you to even look at you and say, yo, you okay? And it is okay, I think, for you to be able to say, yes, I'm okay, and be lying, or say, no, I'm not okay. I think it's okay to not be okay, but not flee from the situation. And that goes with what I was just saying about the club. My friend looked at me and asked, was I okay? She has no idea all the mental shit that was going on in my mind, how I was beating myself up, how I was calling myself a loser for being back in the club, how I was a little depressed because this is what some people think the dating pool consists of. Maybe I was feeling shitty about myself for being back out a place that I never thought of. Whatever it was, whatever all the feelings and emotions and all that I was going through, she looked at me and she said, are you okay? And at that moment, it was okay for me not to be okay. I could have said, no, I'm not okay. And me and her, I know her, she would have immediately said, well, let's get the fuck up out of here, friend. And let's go somewhere where you are okay, or let's call it a night. I could have done that. But I think in this instance, it was okay for me to kind of lie as well and say, oh yeah, I'm okay, even when I wasn't okay. In that moment, I think it was okay to not be okay. And what I mean by that is, if I up and flee and run every time I'm not okay, how will I ever get to okay? Some of those things I got to sit and face. I sat in the fucking club, not one, not two, but 3 clubs we went to, and I looked at everything in there, and I felt every vibe in there. And I was feeling that crazy feeling, but I was also evaluating, like, what about this don't you like? What about this is making you feel like a fucking loser? What about this is uneasy for you? I wasn't okay. But I was able to be okay because I was able to process what was going on, what I didn't like, and then learning what you don't like, you learn what you do like, and I learned that maybe it's not the clubbing that I don't like. Maybe it was the type of club that I was at. Maybe it's not the going by myself and not knowing how to buy someone a drink feeling. Maybe I didn't like that there was no one in there fine enough or bad enough for me to buy a drink. Maybe that was frustrating. Maybe those things. And by not being okay, but not fleeing from it, I was able to figure out a whole bunch of different scenarios that in turn made me okay. When I felt awkward about nobody being there, not being able to buy anybody a drink, fuck, I'm single, I was okay after a minute. I was like, well, good. That's money I get to keep in my pocket. And yeah, I got high standards, and this ain't it. And I need to go to better places with better bitches. Those were the things I was able to process by sitting in the not okayness. And that's why I say there are times, let me clarify the title. There are times, I believe, in our lives, in our situations, in the moment, when it is absolutely okay to not be okay. Where the problem comes in is what you choose to do about it, or how you choose to get out of the not okay situation. Because you can't stay in it. You can't stay in the not okayness, and you can't stay in the situation that makes you not okay. Is it a relationship? Do you gotta change the locks? Do you gotta take off and don't leave a note? Is it a job? Do you just gotta say fuck it and put in your 2 weeks? Is it a friendship where it's really, really one-sided and you just gotta finally block that number? What is it? What is it that is making you not okay? And after you've realized it, what moment, what time, what are you going to do to change it? But you'll never know how to change it if you don't sit in it. I'm sitting in it right now. I'm sitting in it on the fucking set talking to you about it, and I'm being honest. I'm opening up. I'm telling my fears. Friday was really a depressing thing for me, and it carried over to Saturday. And all day Saturday, yesterday, I tried to find anything that I could do to make myself feel better about the failure that I felt on Friday. I tried to shop. I tried to get something to eat. I tried to do the things that normally make me feel good, and nothing worked. So I came home. I think I smoked an obscene amount of weed. I laid on the couch and I passed out and I slept for like 12 hours. And yeah, when I woke up this morning, I kind of beat myself up a little bit, but I didn't think about not being okay. I was like, whew, shit, I must have been tired. My body must have needed that. When I woke up, it was the hard reset that I needed to shake the failure, the weirdness, the not okayness that I had had Friday and Saturday. When I woke up and did that hard reset, got 11 hours of sleep, I knew it was Sunday. I turned on my pastor. He hadn't been there. He was there. I listened to the word. I turned on some music. I started cleaning up. I got dressed. I got in the car, rolled out, did my thing, and I thought about it. I was like, oh shit, everything's back okay. There's going to be a time again when it's not. Before the moment, for right now, everything's back okay. And the same as we notice when we're not okay, make sure you take the time to recognize when you are and how did you get there. And I think the only way I got there, I tried to force it by shopping. I tried to force it by doing things that I don't even like doing anyway, taking myself to eat. I tried to force it. I tried to force being okay. Sometimes you can't force it. You just gotta ride that fucking ride. And I rode the ride of not being okay, and I went up the hill, and it got even worse, and I got to the top. And right when I thought I was about to teeter and cry and break down and beat myself up because I wasn't okay about going out, because I wasn't okay about seeing someone that made me have the feels that the other person made me, because I wasn't okay with being out where everybody was drinking and partying, and I felt like the one who wasn't. I felt like when I got to that peak and I didn't know what to do, when I thought the fucking sled was just gonna fall off, I did the craziest thing is I leaned into it. If the sled was gonna fucking fall off the tip, fuck it, let's fall. It feels terrible just sitting on the edge, teetering. I'd rather fall forward to where I can see what's gonna happen than fall backwards and not even know what I'm about to hit. So I leaned into it. I leaned into the not okay feeling. I leaned into something's wrong. I leaned into the fuck shit. And that's where I found the downhillness. I said, hey man, we just ain't gonna go there no more. We'll find some better gays. We'll find some better places. We'll only party when we're out of town. We'll do some different shit. Right now though, we're gonna take a nap, which turned into some good restful sleep that my body needed. We're gonna start over and we're gonna wake up okay. And every time we get to a spot that we're not and we feel that teeter-totter of the slope again, we're going to do exactly what we did this time to get us out of it. We're going to lean into it. We're going to feel the downward trajectory of that sled, and we're going to ride that fucking ride out and figure out what it is to get us to the bottom, hit that level ground, start that all over again, and go from there to where we are okay. Usually when you get your feet back on the ground and you know that you've made it is when you're okay. What do you do to get grounded? What do you do to let you know that you have made it? You're off that teeter-totter. You hit the bottom, but you're cool. What do you do to ground yourself when you're not okay, but you get back to okay? I took that nap. I woke up today. I started my Sunday all over, and it was amazing. I evaluated what it was. I felt it. I felt all the feels. pulled it in, let it go. But I was proud of myself for being able to lean into it and not run from it. We're at the 6-month mark of this year, 2025, when we said as a group that we're going to be holding ourselves accountable for different things, different situations. We're going to be holding each other accountable, and that's what we're doing. We're leaning into it. We're holding ourselves accountable, and I'm showing up, good, bad, or indifferent. And I'm showing up today letting you know, nah, this ain't no mental breakdown shit. Nah, depression isn't something that we want to stay in. But just like depression, just like social awkwardness, just like this part of life or the journey or the season that you're in, it's okay to not be okay. But when you do get to that okayness, remember what you did to get there. When you do get to that next season, that next relationship, that next happiness, remember what you had to go through to get there. Remember what it felt like when you weren't in that new job, when you weren't in that healthy relationship, and when you weren't happy. So that therefore, when you do get there, you enjoy the ride, the new ride. You enjoy the ride you had to get through to get there. That fucking roller coaster goes up and down and around and around. And you do all of that shit. But at the end of it, you hop off and you telling your friends, yo, that was dope. We made it. Look at us. Nigga, we made it. Man, let's go see if we can get the pictures. The craziest thing is you want to go back and look at the part that was the height of the craziness in your life and see how you reacted to it. Take a picture right now. I had a mentor tell me that right now is the worst that it's ever going to be for you. It's all up from here. So it's okay to not be okay, but process it, get through it. Lean on someone if you need to lean on someone. But get to that part, lean into it, and ride that ride out. And get to the okay. It's so much fun at the okay. It's so much better when we are okay. But it is okay when we're not. It's called we're learning. It's called growth. It's called emotion. It's called being a fucking human. And that's what we all are. We all are struggling with something. Be nice. Ellen used to say, be kind to one another. And I'd be like, why would she end with that? But I get it. You never, ever, 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 ever know. Just like straw. You never know what the person is going through, walking through, living through, or almost not living through. You never know what they're leaning into it. And on that note, man, this is Sunday Set Trip. I know I got a little personal, man. I got a little intimate, but I know that if I can share it with anybody, it's you all. It's my future failures, my accountability partners. Listen, to all my friends who've been chiming in and call me personally and say, yo, Trip, I like when you said this was, man, I appreciate you all. It keeps me going. For all of you all who don't know me personally enough to call me, meet me in those goddamn comments, man. It's the same as with the podcast, man. I want to see what you think about my thoughts. I want to see if we're holding each other accountable. It's a 6-month mark. Where are you halfway into this year that you said you would be? Or where aren't you? Where are we falling short of the glory? Where are we not okay? This is Sunday Set Trip, man, and I am your host, ThatDamn Trip on all social media. Check out the podcast, One Successful Failure, IG, Threads, X, fan base. Catch us on everything. ThatDamn Trip, One Successful Failure. Man, listen. Meet me in the goddamn comments. Let me know what your thoughts are. We get a little personal on these Sundays. Let me know what your 6-month check-in is. Let me know if that straw was a crazy fucking trigger for you. Are you socially awkward? What I really want to know is, at the end of this, are you okay? If you're not, and you need someone to talk to, send me a message, send me a DM on any of my social medias and say, I'm not okay. And you can get my attention, and I will make sure and sit and talk with you. I got a homeboy. Let me shout out Adam Rosante. I met him in the most awkward of ways, and we don't connect all the time. But Adam used to be in a bad way, and he got so bad off that I think he got close to calling to the suicide prevention line. And I know if you look him up on Instagram, his name is Adam Rosante. On Tuesdays, he puts his number out there, and you can call him. And he doesn't judge. I don't even think he might even talk unless you ask him to. But if you ever need an ear to listen to, you can always meet me in the goddamn comments, hit me in a DM, and I will definitely be here for you. But if I'm not someone that you resonate with, if I'm not someone that you want to talk to, if it's something that you think I wouldn't understand, Adam is the most wholesome, white guy of privilege that you would probably meet, so you could get both ends of the spectrums. If it's something that you think I wouldn't understand, holler at Adam and check him out. Adam Rosante on Instagram. That's my boy. Shout out to him. We're always here if you're not okay. On that note, continue to meet me in them goddamn comments. Make sure you tune in with us. Stay tapped in on Sunday Set Trip. Like I said, I get a little more personal. We talk about things like this. We hold each other accountable. Meet me in the goddamn comments. I want to see if you're okay. This is an okay check-in. And if you're not okay, like I said, I'm here for you. We're here for you. We're here as a community, man. Check out the pod. Go check out the episodes. Got some new things coming out for you. My homegirl, Southern Girl, chimed in and said, look, Trip, here's some other avenues. This is what you should be doing. YouTube loves you, and you should feed the beast. So we're going to start feeding the beast. I got a few more things that we're coming out with. I'm not going to leak it right now. I'm going to get it tuned in place, and get it ready, and you'll be the first to know about it. Probably next Sunday I'll be dropping it because I want to give it to you all first. So thank y'all for tuning in. We went a little bit over time, but that happens when you're getting intimate. And right now, since I don't have that many intimate relationships, I'm getting intimate with you. Hold me accountable. Be here. Catch me next Sunday. And if you can't catch me next Sunday, meet me in them goddamn comments, man. I'm going to be there. I promise. Peace. We out of this thing. Yeah.